Alright, I'm at my second game of my second day of tournaments, and this is my second Dark Elf army I'm going against. His entire list is in this picture right here. He has a Sorceress in the woods, 2 units of Dark Riders, 2 small units of Harpies in front of 2 units of Infantry. The one on the right is a bunch of Spearmen with 2 characters in it and an Assassin, and the one on the left is a Blackguard unit with a character and an Assassin. Then he's got his Heavy Cavalry and Hydra on the left. So I'm looking at that. Some of the things I'm not worried about. I'm not worried about his Dark Riders too much because between my shooting and my Pegasus Knights I can usually take care of them. Harpies don't concern me too much. Because of the Flaming Arrows on my Bowman and my Lord, I'm not too awful worried about the Hydra. And I think my cavalry with the Lance formation is much better than his cavalry. So the only thing I'm really worried about are those infantry units. So I decide that I'm not going to get in combat with them if I can help it, unless I can get a rear or flank charge on the Spearmen, and really I just would as soon not go against the Blackguard at all. So I decide to try to envelop them. I put my Pegasus Knights over here with Grail Knights, with Damsel Knights Errant. In my middle I have Men-at-Arms, Trebuchet, Knights of the Realm, and my Skirmishing Bowmen. And my thought here is not to race forward, but just to be a presence so that he doesn't turn. If he turns, I can flank charge him with these guys, and if he doesn't turn, these guys will just back up a little bit, and hopefully I'll get the flank charge with the guys in the flanks. So I have my fast cav on this side to help redirect his Cold One cavalry, and then I have Knights Errant, Pegasus Knights, and my Hydra Killing Lord on my left flank. So Dark Elf turn 1, not a whole lot happens. He moves up, as you can see. On my turn, this is before I moved when I'm declaring charges. So I have my Pegasus Knights on the right, trying to take care of his fast cav over there. My Men-at-Arms I thought might be in reach of his fast cav behind the hill. Ended up they weren't. They're probably 1 or 2 millimeters short, but it was close enough to take that chance. I decide on the left to take my BSB and charge him out of the unit at those Harpies. For one, I really don't want him there, and I think if my BSB gets countercharged, he has a chance of escaping, and if he does and he flees through my units, he won't cause panic tests as would my entire unit if I took them all up. So that's what I did there. After movement, this is my encircling. The Pegasus Knights run down the fast cav over here. My Knights come around the side. In the middle, I go forward a bit with my Knights, but I'm not rushing forward. Get the fast cav ready to do some redirects, and then I'm circling on the left. So Dark Elf turn 2. He charges my BSB with his Blackguard and with his cavalry, and so I flee away from him. I believe I rolled an 18, 3 sixes on that, which was great. It got me well away from them, behind my troops. I didn't cause any panic tests, and now I can rally in safety, because it would have been difficult if I had run and been in front of my guys just to cause just a bunch of hassles. His Harpies charge my Trebuchet. His Dark Riders charge my Men-at-Arms. And when he declared that, I thought he was making a mistake, because I have static combat res 5, and they've got a 4-up armor save and stuff like that. The mistake I made was not having a knight within 6 inches of him, because that means if I don't win combat, if I lose even by 1, I'm likely going to break. So I need to remember that. Peasants are great, but they need leadership around. So there's another look at movement on his turn. Do you see his Spearman, he didn't come forward. He just kind of turned, and he's moving his Hydra away from my Lord. And I believe he moved him. Well, he moved him far enough away that I didn't think I could make the charge, so I didn't declare it. So, yeah. So this is after combat. His Dark Riders make short work of my Men-at-Arms. I believe he won combat by 1, and the Harpies killed my Trebuchet. So Brett turn 2. I declare a charge with my Pegasus Knights and my Lord on his cavalry, and I like that setup, because if the cavalry flees, we're going to go towards his edge of the table, which is what I want. And if he doesn't, I think I'll beat him, and again, we will go that way. The problem is my Pegasus Knights failed their fear test, So I went ahead and declared the charge with my general, but now it's going to be more of a hassle. He has less of a chance of winning, and if his cavalry decides to flee, it's going to land my general right in front of his blackguard, which is what happened. So his blackguard can see me. On his turn, I don't know if he could have reached me or not. My guess is he could have. But if he did, I just would have fled. So anyway, but really I've got him nicely boxed in. Everything he has on the board is either down at my far south with those Dark Riders and the Harpies, or it's contained in those 4 units right there in the middle. Now he still has a Sorceress in the woods, and I have my Pegasus Knights up there that can see her. And a lot of times that surprises people because they have 360 and people forget about that. So Dark Elf turn 3, he takes his Harpies that were down below and charged my Knights of the Realm in the rear. And normally I think that'd be a mistake, but I think the reason he did it was because we were playing a scenario with a special rule that said in combat you always have to pursue and overrun. And so what he was looking to do was to lose combat to me and make me turn away from the center of the board. So I actually think that was a pretty nice strategy if he's worried about my Knights of the Realm there. As far as I was concerned, it worked out nicely because it got my Knights of the Realm away from his blackguard. Of course, I would have preferred it not to happen, but it ended up, I wasn't too awful concerned about it. I'm a little more concerned about his Dark Riders on the hill because I don't need him getting flank charges on me.